Hello and welcome to another video, and today's video is going to be different. Typically my channel revolves around video games and entertainment. Today I wanted to do something different. I wanted to go through my guitar collection. As you guys can see behind me here, I own 5 electric guitars. I've been collecting guitars for about 20 years, since I was in middle school. I've been playing guitar since I was in middle school. Took a period of time off from playing, collecting, really got back into it during the pandemic, and I thought it'd be fun to go through these. It's part of my history, a part of who I am, and a break and a nice change of pace from the other content I do on the channel. So again, nothing video game related in this video whatsoever. Hopefully that doesn't offend anyone. We're going to go ahead, we're going to jump in. We're going to start with the very first guitar I've ever owned and work all the way up to the most recent one. I think that's the easiest way to go about this. Alright, so the very first guitar on the docket today is my Fender Stratocaster Squire Strat. This is a very interesting guitar because it's not at all the guitar it was 20 years ago. And what I mean by that is literally everything about this guitar has been replaced except for the black body itself. So I'm talking new electronics, new pickups, new tuners, brand new neck. You name it, it's been changed out. A new trem system, everything has been done to this guitar. And part of the problem is when I was in high school, this is the first guitar I ever bought right out, right first freshman year of high school. Saved up one summer. I saved up enough money one summer mowing a bunch of lawns to purchase a Nintendo GameCube that fall, and also to purchase this electric guitar. I believe it was originally like $200. And so, and I had to buy it. I think the deal was if I bought the guitar, my dad would buy me like the little practice amp, and that's what I started with. It was a little Fender like 10-watt practice amp. And this was a guitar I used for about a year before I got the next guitar, which we'll get to in a minute. And then I kind of just really fell in love with the next guitar that I got. Didn't play this one for a long time. Always appreciated the sound of it, but never really appreciated it fully. The biggest issue with it is at some point the electronics got messed up in the guitar, and I stopped using it. Put it in the case for about 10 years. And so when I pulled it out last fall, when I started getting back into this stuff, I realized that the neck truss rod was completely broken. I couldn't adjust the relief on it whatsoever. And so I had to purchase a new neck for this guitar. I bought new tuners for the guitar. And at this point I was like, you know what, this is going to be my project guitar. I'm going to completely change it. It was covered and riddled with stickers from bands I liked 20 years ago in high school. And so I completely changed everything about this guitar. So this guitar has guitar fetish pickups in it. Those are the quick plug, like no soldering required, because I wanted to see what that was like. They sound really good. Everything about this guitar, other than the body, like I said, has been changed somehow. New tremolo system, like everything's great. And it's just a testament. You never forget your first electric guitar. I love having this thing. It's a reminder of what I was playing 20 years ago. It still sounds great today with all these tune-ups and everything, and I love having this guitar around. Alright, so the next guitar we're going to talk about for a long time was my favorite guitar. This is my most road-worn guitar. It is a guitar that got me through many gigs in high school and a little bit in college when I was a part of various bands. It was my favorite guitar for a long time. It always sounds great when I come back to this guitar and play it. I've only made one modification to this guitar, and that is hip shot locking tuners, which You're going to hear me say the words hip shot locking tuners a lot in this video because I love these tuners to death. This is my Ibanez GX70G that I've had since 2002. So this is the first like metal guitar that I ever owned, and it really kind of gelled with my style of guitar and music at the time. It has great humbucker pickups, and I'm gonna just level with you and tell you right now, a lot of people will give you shit for liking Ibanez guitars. Those people are idiots. Ibanez makes some of the best freaking guitars on the market. They're cheap, they're affordable, and they sound great. I think they're easily comparable to some of the guitars that are in the, $600 to $1,000 range. No questions asked. And with a couple like cheap modifications, you could really make this guitar stand up to those. I mean, I rounded out the fret edges to give it a little more clean action. That's it. I've not changed a single other thing about this guitar other than the tuners, and it still sounds great to this day. It's like coming home, basically. So that's my Ibanez. Really love this guitar. I love having it. It is a part of me. It's a part of who I am. Alright, in 2005, my very first job right out of high school was working at Target. I worked at Target for about 3.5 years, and so while I was working at Target in the fall of 2006, they had this massive clearance event where they were just getting rid of a bunch of shit, and one of the things that was in this aisle, they had kind of a music section. They had this cheap Gibson knockoff Epoch guitar for 50 bucks. And so, just on a whim, I purchased it. I refer to this guitar as the junker because honestly, it's a junk guitar, but it is the first guitar I've made modifications to. And I think by today's standards, this guitar sounds decent enough, but I want to make more modifications to it. And when I started getting into this stuff, this guitar, 50 bucks, I thought, you know what, I can mess around with this. If I screw it up, it's a $50 investment. It's not going to kill me. So let's talk about what I've done to this guitar. So this guitar does have locking tuners, but they're like an off-brand. I did put a steel nut on this guitar, which helps with sustain, and it's actually pretty cool. Let's see what else. I changed out the chrome-plated pickups for a little bit hotter, a little bit brighter gold-plated ones. Again, off-brand. I changed out the knobs and the tailpiece so that everything's gold. It was all silver, and I wanted it to be gold. I thought it looked better. But if I'm being honest with you, this guitar sounds okay. It's not my go-to guitar, and I want to put P90 pickups. I want to modify the guitar enough that I can fit P90s into this because, as you can see behind me, none of the guitars that I own have P90s. I really want to try that out. So that's the junker. It's okay. It is what it is. So for me personally, when it comes to guitars, there's one guitar I've always wanted and never thought I would own, and that is a actual SG. Sure, the Ibanez GX70 is an SG-like guitar, but it's not a real SG. And my girlfriend knew this, and I'm going to tell this story because I think it's important. And so 2020 was a terrible year for everybody, myself included. I went through 2 different surgeries. I went through a gall removal surgery I had put off for about 3 years. And then after that, about 3-4 months after that surgery, and I was feeling great, you know, everything was going well, and then I found out that I had a hernia that was caused by the area from where they pulled my gallbladder out being weakened, caused this hernia, and learned later that it was the largest hernia that my surgeon has ever repaired, so that's fun. But really rough 2020. Everybody had one, and mine was pretty rough. And so my girlfriend knew this, and she knew that I was having a really hard time. And so she surprised me at Christmas with, honestly, the best Christmas gift I've ever gotten. And I'm still speechless, you know, 6 months later, 7 months later. And that is this beautiful Epiphone SG guitar. It is the guitar that I've always wanted. I'm still speechless just looking at it. It's truly incredible that I own this guitar. It is the best guitar that I own now. It sounds incredible. Like, I can't even describe to you how great this guitar sounds. Just plugging it in and playing it. I will never change anything about it. It sounds incredible. I was thinking about doing the pickups or I was thinking about doing the tuners. No, I'm not going to change anything about this guitar. It's got a really, really cool tailpiece here. I had to loosen it a little bit, but I still can't believe I own this guitar. My wonderful, wonderful girlfriend, she's, you know, stuck with me through a lot of hard times, and I can't believe that she bought this for me. I'm still speechless. I know you're watching this video. I love you. Thank you. Alright, and finally, let's talk about the most recent guitar I purchased. So, I just told you that wonderful story about how my girlfriend bought me the SG that's behind me. That is my favorite guitar. It is the best guitar that I own. Well, I also made a deal with myself that if I made it through the hernia surgery, I was going to buy and pick up and make my own Telecaster. I wanted to pimp and trick this thing out myself. I toyed with the idea of buying an actual Fender Telecaster, but I thought, you know, I could save money and just pimp this thing out the way that I wanted to. And so, as I'm holding it here, this is, as I've aptly named, the All Too Easy, because this thing was a bitch to put together. I bought a $125 guitar from some dinky music shop in Indiana online one day, and it was poor condition. Everything about it sucked. It had a terrible plastic nut that when I removed the strings that the guitar came with off, the nut just popped out of the neck. The tuners, 2 of them were broken. The pickups sounded just dreadful. Really, it was and it was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. I wanted to change this guitar up and make it my own, and that's exactly what I've done. So again, hip shot locking tuners. I even changed out the string trees, bone nut in this bitch. brand new, I had to, brand new pickguard. And then one of the most interesting things, I've never owned a guitar that has active pickups. So for this guitar, which requires a 9-volt battery in the electronics cavity, so what I did was I put EMG pickups in this guitar. They sound incredible. And then I bought a new ashtray bridge with compensated brass pieces. I forget what the term's called. So everything about this guitar, you know, I changed that. All the electronics obviously are different. The sound is unreal. It has a different sound to it than the other electric guitars that I own, and that's what I was going for. Really, really, really dig this guitar. I've been playing it a lot as well. Obviously the SG is always going to be my favorite, but this is a close second now, so... Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of me going over my guitar collection. It's probably a little long in the tooth. I'm not going to turn this channel into a music channel. I did also, over the months of COVID and pandemic, I actually built my own pedal board with a bunch of various pedals. I've kind of swapped in and out to get the sound that I'm looking for. As you've kind of heard throughout this video, maybe at some point I'll do a little bit more detailed video on that, but again, I'm not looking to turn this channel into a guitar YouTube channel. This is going to remain a video game centered channel. I just wanted to do this video for fun. I hope you enjoyed seeing me talk about something different that I'm also passionate about. Remember, as always, to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time.